Good morning. Good morning. It is 3:02 a.m. I'm on my way to the gym right now. And what I was thinking about, and I like reporting that when I wake up in the morning, I feel extremely tried. You know, when you wake up, you're a little bit groggy, but there's a sense of urgency on your life, but it's not a good sense. It's almost like you didn't pay the bill, or you didn't do this, or you got all these different things coming at you on a regular basis, and they're hitting you just as you wake up. And it's like, man, I can't even get up without a fight coming at me. But then when you put everything in proper perspective, things are really good. See, I'm a firm believer that the devil loves to have you moving from victory to war, victory to war, victory to war. Well, no, the devil had it his way. You'd be going from war to war to war to war to constantly going to another battle. But your faith allows you to go into victory, but then your fear allows you to go back into war. Never allowing you enough time to celebrate and be in the moment. Like, oh man, did you see that? We did that. I was listening to something about Kobe Bryant, and it just kept sounding like he was never happy with where he was at. He was never satisfied with where he was at. And when I think you're not satisfied with where you're at, I'm thinking that you're never celebrating your victories. Because you have to constantly be in the mode of what's next? What can I get next? What can I accomplish next? I'm not saying that's a good or a bad thing. I'm just saying that sometimes you need to celebrate your victories. Celebrate the things that you've done right. Marvel in the moment. Live in the moment. Don't dismiss it as if there'll be more of them. Because you know how many bitter and angry people there are running around? A lot. You know how many people don't believe that they're worth more than where they're at right now? A lot. You know, every time I get somebody to come up to me and ask me for some money, you know how people be panhandling on the street? And they'll come up and ask me for some money, man. I always have a conversation with them. Like, hey, you know you're worth more than this that you're asking me for. You know that if you just really just applied yourself, that you could really be out there doing more than just standing on the corner asking me to give you some money. And I say, well, what if my kids were to see you ask me for some money and I went in my pocket and just give it to you? What kind of example would I be setting for my children? That won't be shutting them down, because they'd be like, you want them to work for it. You want them to earn it. But these are people that don't see a whole lot of value in themselves, so they don't think they're worthier than what you're about to give them out your pocket. The lint in the bottom of your pocket, the change in the bottom of your pocket. They don't think that they're worth more than that. And there's a lot of functioning people who feel the exact same way. The only difference between them and the person who is panhandling is the other one's panhandling from paycheck to paycheck. This one just out there panhandling from moment to moment. But nonetheless, hurt individuals. You know, if you ever want to move out of that sense of hurt, I'd really highly recommend you read the Word of God. You know, there's things locked away in there that will give you insight into why and what's going on and why it's going on with you. The same reason why people go to college. They believe that there's going to be things taught that will allow them to engage a profession that otherwise they could not get into. So the education that comes with going into a college situation allows for a person to enter into a work field with a specialized skill. Well, just imagine that the Word of God is just as powerful, but more than a standard education, because it's actually the living Word. It's actually giving you insight through parables of life's obstacles, of the games the devil plays. Well, imagine that. But because the Word never promised better job placement, you know, in layman's terms, because it's promised a lot, but it hasn't promised in layman's terms. And most of us was raised with the church just wants our money theory. Or we read a passage that said God is with us at all times, but we didn't read the second passage that says don't forsake the assembly of other believers, for those who dwell in the house of the Lord. I guess you can call those 10% Christians. Those are the ones that read 10% of the Word and just use whatever they want out of it to suit their own needs. But how you actually come out of those fearful moments when it feels like the world is crushing down on you is the Word tells you that you will feel pressure. But it also says, do not grow weak and weary. Do not faint, because in due season, God will give you strength.